Hi, everybody. My name is Rachel for Cyber Sports Network. I'm standing here with Craig Levine. If you play competitive video games in the United States, then you owe Craig Levine a big hug. Craig, do you want to give us a quick timeline of your involvement in esports right from the beginning?
Sure. So it started off in about 2002. I found a team called Team 3D, which is the first pro gaming team in North America. We were world championships in Counter-Strike, Halo, Warcraft 3, Quake Live, all the big titles at the time. We traveled around the world, World Cyber Games, U.S. Representatives for several years in a row. Did that till about 2007. At that point, we started a company called ESS, also known as eSports Services. And from there, we started working with companies to help run branded tournaments for them and provide different marketing video game solutions for them. So we've worked in the past with CPLs, ESWCs, Code 5s, World Cyber Games, and this year we're selected by World Cyber Games headquarters to be the U.S. strategic partner. So that means that we are going to be running World Cyber Games USA. We have the ability to select the games that are most relevant to the U.S. market, create an exciting program, redevelop WCG USA, the website, and really build an exciting program around it.
And what are some of the games that you've chosen for the U.S. to compete in?
This year we're going to be using 5 titles. We're going to be doing Counter-Strike 1.6, Crossfire, League of Legends, StarCraft 2, World of Warcraft, and Tekken. So actually 6 titles, sorry. And then we're going to look throughout the year to continuously add promotional titles in an online that will potentially feed into the U.S. national finals as well. So ideally using games like Call of Duty, Halo Reach, Mortal Kombat, all the hot titles that are relevant in the U.S. market, being able to put together an exciting program for the community around those as well.
Now I'm going to backtrack a bit here and go back to Team 3D. That was, well recorded as one of the first competitive gaming team. That's what you told us right here. So were there leagues going on at the time that would support these teams, or was this? I know CGS, Team 3D was one of the teams. Was that sort of, you got wind of that and you started?
No, we started Team 3D in about April 2002, and it was different back then. The dynamic wasn't that such that it was with MLG, where they support individual players and teams. There were different tournaments and tournament organizers that existed out there, and we went out and we built sponsors. So we worked with Intel, NVIDIA, CompUSA, Subway Restaurants, SteelSeries, Sennheiser, PNY, companies like that, and we were the first team to receive salary. So we received salary. We traveled around the world competing, representing them in multiple-time world championships across various different organizers and leagues.
And you were also involved, like you said, in ESEA and ESWC. And ESEA is your company?
Yeah, we started ESEA in about 2004. It's a pay-to-play video game subscription service for FPS PC titles. So we work primarily with Counter-Strike, Counter-Strike Source, and Team Fortress 2. We started an online league about 2 or 3 years ago, where we give out about almost $200,000 in cash prizes this year across those 3 titles, as well as StarCraft 2. We're continuously looking at other games and opportunities to build a real league around. We also have ESEAnews.com, which does esports content coverage of all the different happenings from all over the world from the popular titles.
Wow, that's excellent. You said this ESEA is your baby. Did that come from LAN leagues, and you sort of were inspired by that, or was that something independent that maybe the players asked for?
It was something where we saw, we always kind of had a backseat with the ESEA. We weren't at our core league, but we saw CPLs and CGSs and all these other people come in and do it wrong. And they had unsustainable business models. And what we were able to do is we said, hey, the community is willing to pay for something where there's value being generated. And we created a really sustainable model, so it's self-sufficient at this point. We work with different partners that help supplement the prize purse. But we really didn't do it until we just kind of had enough of what everyone else was doing and doing it wrong. And those unsustainable models, in our opinions, for the games that we work with, just weren't the long-term answer.
Now you have kind of a privileged perspective here. You've definitely watched esports grow throughout the years and become this sort of global community. Are there any trends that you've noticed in particular, maybe for games that succeed or teams that succeed?
I think the formula is still largely the same. I think there's definitely an increased focus now on online viewership. I think you're seeing that with games like StarCraft 2 now. The numbers are just massive, and I think that's what's needed to really get it to that next level and start to get the attention of larger advertisers. And if you look like what Team Liquid's doing in some of their TSL events, I mean, they're getting 40, 50,000 concurrent unique viewers, which, I'm willing to bet is probably more than are watching the New Jersey Nets. So, it's building. And it's a combination. I think we're at a really great time because there's a lot of new and exciting games. StarCraft 2, League of Legends, new Call of Duty's coming out, new Battlefield coming out, Marvel vs. Capcom. There's a fresh cycle of games that have come out to the market, and I think that's good for competitive gaming.
And how do you think consoles are going to fare on sort of a global market? Primarily, they've been I guess just a U.S. thing, maybe in South America, but do you see it expanding anywhere else?
Yeah, I mean, the numbers on Xbox and PlayStation, they continue to grow, and I think they're always going to have their point. I think in the long run, you're going to see social games and platforms like Facebook continue to kind of cannibalize a little bit of that market, but it's certainly growing. It's very accessible. There's a lot of great titles out there. The numbers are immense in the U.S. and globally. I think both the PC and console platforms both have an opportunity to continue to flourish.
And as far as leagues that are sort of cropping up, I mean, do you have any predictions? Do you have any inside knowledge, maybe what we want to invest in as players?
I think there's going to be an interesting turnover in leagues. We've seen it it just kind of happens every few years when there's a hot title or a hot something, and it's going on right now with StarCraft. There's too many different leagues and organizers out there, and I think over the next 6 to 18 months even, you're going to see start to them shake out. Season 1s are going to finish. Are they going to get funded for Season 2? And I think there's only a limited number of teams that really have an appetite, or companies, that have an appetite to sponsor events at that scale. And I think you're going to see some consolidation in the market. But, you've got groups like World Cyber Games and MLGs, GSLs. I think those guys are all going to continue to be there.
And do you have any recommendations for players who are maybe starting out in esports or wondering, why they haven't made it further?
You just got to play. You got to play games that you enjoy. You got to play with people that you enjoy doing. At the end of the day, it's a hobby. It's something you got to have fun doing. I mean, there's a great opportunity to travel the world, and there's a great opportunity to win some money. But it's a long shot, just like with most sports, to say I'm going to make a living out of this. I'm going to, be able to support myself for the next 20 years in this. I mean, the numbers, it's tough, just like it is if you play, football in high school. But if it's something you enjoy, you do it for that reason. And there definitely are opportunities, big and small, to get known and, make some money along the way with it.
Righty, and you told us that ESS, Esports Services, was just picked up as the point of contact for WCG in the U.S. Is there anything else in the future that you might want to fill us in on or that you're excited about?
We're excited just to redevelop the property, relaunch it. We've got an emphasis on the online platform, both from a competitive level, community level, and content level. So we're hard at work getting all that up and running, and this year is going to be a development year for us as we get our feet under ourselves and get all those new things out there. But we're very excited for this year and what subsequent years what we could do.
All right, thanks so much, Craig. And do you have I guess ESEA is the place to go, esea.com, if you want to know about developments in esports?
Yeah, you can go to eseanews.com. It's a coverage site, and if you're interested, us.wcg.com. We'll be launching that in the coming days.
Thanks so much for talking to us.
Thank you.
I love your events. I love everything you do in esports, and more people out there should be aware of Craig Torbull Levine. You've got your own gamer tag. He's done so much for esports. Can't thank you enough.
Thank you.
Super.